These are scary horror stories to vibe with on a quiet summer night. As the sun sets over the horizon, leaving only a sliver of light peeking through the trees, we are treated to the sweet sounds of crickets chirping their evening song. There is something about the night time that brings all the senses into overdrive. It's like the world itself is holding its breath, savoring the stillness before the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. As the darkness deepens, so does the mystery of the unknown. This is when the scariest horror stories come to life. These tales are not for the faint of heart, but for those who dare to listen. There is a special thrill in hearing them under the cover of darkness. So grab a blanket, wrap yourself in its cozy embrace, and snuggle into a comfortable position. Let the gentle rocking lull you into a state of relaxation as you listen to these chilling tales that will send shivers down your spine. Be sure to let me know which story was your favorite down in the comments section below. And if you are new here, be sure to go ahead and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now let's begin. The first story is called The Hitchhiker. On a dark and stormy night, a lone driver finds himself stranded on a deserted road. The rain is coming down in torrents, wind howling like a hungry wolf and thunder rumbling in the distance. Just when he thinks he's finally found a way to flag down some help, his car sputters and dies, leaving him in total darkness. Moments later, a pair of headlights appears in the distance, and he frantically waves them down. A rusty old pickup truck pulls up beside him, and the driver, a weathered man with a gruff voice, offers him a ride. Hesitantly, the stranded motorist accepts and climbs into the truck. As they drive along the deserted road, the driver notices that the passenger seat is covered with a blanket, concealing its contents. Curiosity piqued, he asks the driver to pull over so he can inspect the mysterious package. But the driver refuses, claiming that it's none of the passenger's business. Alarmed by the driver's strange behavior, the passenger decides to make a run for it. He jumps out of the moving truck and sprints into the darkness, leaving the driver and his unsettling cargo behind. As the night goes on, the passenger hears the sound of footsteps behind him, heavy and relentless. He runs blindly, desperately seeking shelter from his pursuer. Just when he thinks he's lost his pursuer, he hears a voice behind him, raspy and cold. "You can't escape me," it hisses. And then he feels a cold hand grab his shoulder. Turning slowly, he sees the driver standing over him, a twisted grin on his face. The passenger screams, knowing that he's trapped in a nightmare from which there is no escape. And then everything goes black. The second story is called The Abandoned Cabin. Deep within the woods, hidden away from prying eyes, stands an abandoned cabin. Its windows are boarded up, its paint is peeling, and its roof is caved in. Locals claim that the cabin is haunted by the spirits of a family who met a gruesome end inside. Despite the warnings, a group of friends decides to venture into the woods and explore the abandoned cabin. As they push open the creaking door, they feel a sudden chill run down their spines. The air inside the cabin is thick with dust and the smell of decay. As they venture deeper into the cabin, they hear strange noises, floorboards creaking, whispers in the darkness. One of the friends pulls out a flashlight and shines it round, revealing a dusty old diary hidden under a floorboard. Intrigued, they decide to read the diary entries, each page detailing the struggles of the family who lived in the cabin years ago. But as they read on, they realize that the family is being stalked by a mysterious and sinister presence in the woods. The diary entries become increasingly frantic, describing how the family is being tormented by unseen forces. Then, the entries stop abruptly, leaving the friends with more questions than answers. Suddenly, They hear a loud crash from upstairs and the friends flee the cabin in terror. They run as fast as they can, desperate to escape the woods and the evil that lurks within. But as they turn to leave, they see a dark figure standing in the forest, watching them. They speed away, but they can't shake the feeling that they are being followed. Finally, when they reach their car and drive off, they can't help but glance back at the cabin, wondering what secrets it still holds. The third story is called The Mirror. In a dusty antique shop, tucked away on a forgotten shelf, hangs an ornate mirror. Its silvering is chipped, its frame is cracked, and its glass is clouded with age. Legend has it that the mirror is cursed, trapping the souls of those who gaze into its depths. Despite the warnings, a young woman purchases the mirror, eager to add it to her collection of vintage antiques. She takes the mirror home and hangs it in her bedroom, admiring its beauty and the mystery it holds. But soon she begins to notice strange occurrences in her room. Objects move on their own. Whispers can be heard in the night, and shadows seem to dance in her peripheral vision. One day, while getting ready for bed, she looks into the mirror and sees a ghostly figure standing behind her. She screams, dropping her brush and backing away from the mirror. But the ghost only stands there, beckoning her closer. Unable to resist the ghostly summons, she reaches out to touch the apparition, but her hand passes right through it. She falls to her knees before the mirror, begging the ghost to help her break the curse. But the ghost only shakes its head sadly, and then it disappears. Desperate to free herself from the mirror's curse, she smashes it with a hammer, sending shards of glass flying everywhere. As the mirror breaks, the ghostly figure appears once more, this time with a look of peace on its face. It steps out of the mirror and walks towards her, its touch sending a jolt of energy through her body. And then it disappears, leaving her free from the mirror's grasp. The fourth story is called The Toy. A young mother named Sarah gives her son a creepy doll for his birthday. The doll's eyes are blank, its smile is unnerving, and its clothes are faded and worn. But the boy, oblivious to the doll's sinister nature, names it Freddy and takes it everywhere with him. That night, Sarah is awoken by the sound of footsteps in the hallway. She dismisses it, assuming it was just the wind. But then she hears a knock at her son's door. Assuming it was just her son playing a prank, she doesn't think much of it. But then the knocking continues late into the night, driving her crazy. In the morning, Sarah checks on her son to find him fast asleep, with Freddy the doll sitting on his chest. As the days go by, the knocking becomes more frequent and more sinister, and Sarah's sanity begins to unravel. One night, she can't take it anymore and confronts Freddy the doll, only to have it stare back at her with an evil grin. She throws the doll into the corner of the room, where it promptly gets back up and walks towards her. Paralyzed with fear, she watches as the doll approaches her, its eyes glowing red in the darkness. Just as it reaches out to touch her, she wakes up in a cold sweat. From that day on, she keeps a close eye on the doll, never letting it out of her sight. But as the weeks go by, she realizes that she may have unleashed something truly evil into their home. And the final story is called The Photograph. A young woman named Anna discovers an old photograph in her attic. The picture shows a beautiful woman standing in front of a Victorian house. Drawn to the image, Anna decides to learn more about the woman in the photograph. She researches the house and learns that it was abandoned years ago after a tragic fire. But the more she digs into the history of the house, the more she uncovers a dark and sinister secret. The woman in the photograph is revealed to be the former owner of the house, who was rumored to have committed suicide after losing her daughter in the fire. Anna becomes obsessed with the case and starts seeing the woman from the photograph everywhere. She even begins having nightmares of the woman, begging her for help. Determined to put the ghost of the woman to rest, Anna sets out to uncover the truth behind her story. With the help of a local historian, she uncovers a shocking secret. The woman in the photograph was not the former owner of the house, but rather her sister, who perished in the fire. The former owner had kept the photograph hidden away, believing that it was cursed. But as Anna learns more about the tragedy, she realizes that the photograph is not cursed, but rather a portal to another dimension. The spirit of the woman in the photograph is trapped there, and she is reaching out to Anna for help. Risking everything, Anna confronts the spirit and helps her cross over to the other side, and in doing so, she breaks the curse of the photograph and sets both the woman and herself free. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.